Hey gang, it's me, Jimmy Photon again with yet another episode of Stupid Pedal Tricks. Today's attractive little device is actually a classic Digitech XP200 modulator pedal. Um, there's been a mod out on the internet for a while that you can pay for called the Jetpack mods, where they figured out basically that there was four pedals in the series. There was the XP100 whammy wah, the XP200 modulator, the XP300 space station, which is probably the most coveted one, and the XP400 reverberator. Well, the Jetpack guys figured out how to put all of the pedals in one because they all use the same circuit board. So what they do is they stack up, some chips, they add memory to it, program the chips correctly, bing bang boom, you've got yourself what they call an XPR. My brother Woden had passed away earlier this year, and his wife left me a bunch of his pedals and stuff. And I was lucky enough to get an XP200 modulator pedal and an XP300 space station. And knowing Woden he loved toys. He was the guy that gave me my very first fuzz box, which was one of them orange plastic K ones, like the wah wah treadle kind of thing, orange. They were cool. And anyways, I knew he would have wanted this, so I sent this to my friend Greg, aka Government Lackey, down in Maryland, from the Do-It-Yourself Snot Box Forum. Him and my brother Dino, or Mr. Digitooty, as he's known on the forum, had come up with a somewhat different mod based on the Jetpack mod, where you have all four pedals. But the Jetpack mod, you have to turn the effect unit off. You actually unplug the power when you change modes and then plug it back in. Well, they figured out a way to do this without having to do that. Rather than me botch it, being blind and all, I sent it to Greg. A few days later, he sent it back, and this is no longer an XP200 modulator. If you look close, you'll see there's a knob here with four little colored things that are under it, and that corresponds to XP100, 200, 300, and 400. It has all of the effects of all of them built in. I'm not going to even touch on all the effects of the different pedals, because there's just too many for a stupid pedal trick to even be worth doing. But I'm going to, just try a couple of them just so you get an idea of what it sounds like. So we're going to start out in XP100 whammy wah mode. Right now it's set on just a volume pedal. Pretty self-explanatory. The first patch is a crybaby. Give it a little dirt. It's not too bad, it's hard to do it with your foot, with your hand while you're, playing guitar one-handed. I'm being attacked by a tree here. But you got the wah wah. I'm going to move it on up a little bit to, we're going to try patch 12, which would be called Brass Attack. You gotta kind of adjust how you play, because it follows the envelope that you give it. It's a little bit more dynamic with some distortion. It's pretty cool. It's a trippy effect. Next patch up, we start getting into the whammy. Yeah. And some of these will, you can't even produce them, because I'm playing through a little speaker about this big with Ruby amp from, I don't know if it was Dan Beavis that invented that or whatever, from runoffgroove.com. And it's like maybe a third of a watt of power, but for my purposes here, it's good, and it sounds, because it's got a JFET front end and basically a little power amp for the back end. It sounds very, very amped. I mean, if I turn off the, I'm getting a little bit of a delay because I got the whammy on, but this is halfway up on the Ruby. The speaker's like distressing. I have to kind of play a little softer. Actually, I'll turn down the input on the modulator a little bit. So you got the whammy. Various flavors. You can like bend it up and down. Typical whammy tricks. I love this thing. Drop it an octave. Or two. It sounds like the world's biggest, baddest tuba. Great for playing sofa if you can figure it out. 20 is down so many octaves, the speaker's just going. Listen, I'll bring it up. I love whammy pedals. They're real useful when they're under your foot. When you're trying to do it with your hand, it's not so useful. Now, of course, I do have fuzz on. In this case, it's my rebuild or whatever of the old Ross distortion. This is the tan distortion box with a couple little tweaks in it. I'll do a SPT for that sometime separate, but I'm just using it for dirt right now. So we're up to patch 24 now in the whammy wah. Harmonize yourself in like fifths and fourths. You can get all kinds of like, relatively useful sounds out of it. Minor, major, blah blah blah. We're up to 28, which is up a fifth or an octave. And then finally you get up to like 29 and it's detuning. Which is a really nice sound, very fat. This sound alone is enough to make it worth putting on my freaking pedal board. So I'm going to go and go back up to patch 1 I'm going to change the switch here so that you guys can see what happens. And if I can find the dang thing. We're on the XP100 now. We're going to go to the XP200. Let me get it so you can see. And you'll see what it does. Resets to 0. Comes back up on the first patch. Or whatever patch is closest to the same patch that you were on the previous pedal. Now it's in XP200. Oops, wrong one. There's so many freaking patches, it takes 4 pages just to go and make them all out. Next up will be, it starts off with like some rotaries. And it slows down nice and ramps. I mean, various rotaries. I'm not going to get into all of them. I'm going to take it up to the chorus mode. Nice chorus. I don't usually use a lot of chorus, but this is real lush. Give it some distortion. One suggestion from my buddy Winston Smith is if you use pedals like this too, is to use like say a Boss GT3, GT5, GT6, something that has an assignable effects loop in it where you can put the effects loop wherever you want. Because with a pedal like this, in some cases, for some of the patches, you're going to want it before distortion. Some things you're going to want after distortion, stuff like that. So that increases the versatility of what you can do with it. But anyways, we were checking out the chorus. Let's take it up to flangers. And just swell into how much flange you want. I'm going to take it up. I'm going to change the manual on it now. You can control the flanging of your foot. Take it up again, we got phaser. Straight guitar pretty much. Just a little distortion. Swelling some phase. Nice and chewy. It's even got a triggered one, which would be patch 36. Every time you pick, you can adjust the sensitivity where it starts to phase over. So if you play like legato or whatever they call it, it'll sound different than if you play. Next up we got vibrato, which is very lush. Sounds nice just by itself. Try a couple of them. Very nice. Good with a lot of distortion too. Take it up to number 45 so that we can control the speed. lot of creative possibilities. I'm kind of surprised that Digitech hasn't jumped on this thing and reissued this as like an all-in-one pedal already. But the good thing is that you can do it yourself. You can get the complete book of how to do it on do-it-yourself snot boxes. Dino and Greg wrote it up. It's got the instructions, what to change, where to do it, where to, you know. If you Google it up, Google is your friend, as usual. Alright, so we're going to move beyond this to tremolo. Nice slow pulse. I love the tremolo in this thing. And then it's got like panning and crap like that too, but I don't have it hooked up in stereo, so you're not going to even actually hear that. So we're going to take it back up to, and of course 61 is volume. Turn the dirt off. And I'm going to bring it back up to patch number 1 so that I can take it up to the space station. Let's see if you can see the cool light. Let's see. You watch it go to like 0, 0, and then 1 comes right up. It's ready to go. No having to plug it in or unplug it required. Let me get to the space station sheet. Now the space station has some cool stuff in it. Just ridiculous stuff. Like strings. Give it some dirt. Now we'll set it up for fifths, which is the next patch. Now that's just the whammy wah. Well, actually, that would be the XP300 space station in the XP all pedal with again just a little bit of Ross distortion. I'll turn the distortion off. Sometimes you have to trim it a little bit because you start to get a little distortion. This is a buffered box, so it's always on too, so if you're going to use it, make sure you put it after your dirt pedals, because otherwise it can like mess with like the response things. I find with my personal setup, I have to put this in a loop box so that I can have it where I want it in my effects chain, but it doesn't play well with my fuzz face sometimes. But anyways, here's fourths now. Fifths, fourths. This is what they call chorus. Still a string swell. Very, very trippy. What the hell? Patch 6. Patch 7. Patch Patch 8. Patch 9. You can't hear it because the speaker can't reproduce it, but it actually drops it an octave. I can just barely make it out, so I'm sure it's not translating at all. Patch 10 is a time warp delay. This is freaking trippy. Start with the pedal back. Okay? Push it forward. Let you play backwards. You push it forward, it slows down and stops, and then comes back backwards. So I'll go. This is just crazy shit with this. Patch 11 is called, it's another time warp delay. This one goes forward or reverse. The first one went forward, stopped, and then reverse. This one just goes forward or reverse. Oh. Again, it's one of those deals where the speaker can't produce the frequencies. Let's see, 12 would be stop and reverse with dry signal. Thirteen is another one of those backwards kind of things. But you hear what you play forward at the same time, which can be much easier sometimes. You play something that comes back at you backwards at C. Sick. 14 is more of the same, I think. Yeah. $15. More backwards stuff. I love backwards, so for me that's cool. Portamento. You can control the speed with the treadle. Make it real long. $17. $18. 19. once you get the feel for it, you can actually make it do whatever you want. I don't have the feel for it yet. This is a pixelator, which is kind of like a ring modulator. It actually is like crushing the depths. It's like, that's what happens when you go and take away bits randomly from like a digital audio signal. And you can dial in however much you want. Another pixelator with modulation. '23 would be a ring modulator again. '25, more ring modulation. Let's see. '28 is cool. You get sample and hold, which is like a great sound. Boss would call it a step phaser. I'm going to take it up a little bit. This is a resonator. Tuned to A. This is the same thing tuned to D. And then let's see what the hell else I got. Oh, a chromatic resonator. Turn the fuzz off. '33 A to G resonator, which split. '34. It's Michael Myers time. '35 similar. Goes up instead of down. 36. I always like this effect. '37. Goes up a whole tone scale. It's pretty sick. 38. Another arpeggiator. And back to volume. I've gone through 3 of the 4 pedals in here, so I'm going to push it to 1. And put this on number 4 for the reverberator, which just kicked in. I don't know if you heard that. I'm just going to go through the programs real fast. They're all nice, usable reverbs, and you can control the depth with your foot from dry, or almost dry, to depending on the patch. I wish there was a way to figure it out where you could have any combination of any of these freaking pedals on at once inside the same pedal. Now that would be cool. But for now, this is pretty damn cool itself. Sounds just like the kind of sound I used to use when I was playing Lisa in Avatar like 20 years ago. Nice ambience. There's like 60 patches in here. I'm not going to go through all of them. This is one of them endless ones. Breaking up a little bit because I've got the signal going in too hot. That's why the suggestion of using it like a Boss style GT, something where you have a movable effect, so it comes in real handy. Right on, Winston. More reverbs, more reverbs, more reverbs, more reverbs, more reverbs. Backwards gated ones, you know. Suddenly it sounds like you're on Poltergeist. They're here, the TV people. Back we are at patch 1. Alright? It only took 35 minutes. Oh my god, to go through this pedal. And I didn't even hit all the patches in it. It's insane. Anyways, this is the XP All. This is the longest stupid pedal trick ever made, so I'm going to call it for now. As always, you got your stupid pedals. In this case, the Digitech XP All, brought to you by, well, originally by the Jetpack people, and now from DoItYourselfStompboxes.com. You can do this yourself. Uh, Great modification, wickedly useful pedal. There's just myriad applications for it. And this is also one of the grand prizes for the DoItYourselfStompboxes.com Turkey Day Shootout. There's still about a week to enter, so if you are a member of DIY and you want to go and pony up the $10 to get in on the contest, at this point, it looks like 50% of the people are going to be winning prizes. There are so many freaking prizes, and the XP All, not this particular one, but one with the same guts, is one of the prizes. So if you dig this, check it out. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up for a change. Anyways, Pink Jimi Photon, peace out. Where's the damn stop button? There it is.